Hello, my name is Jaiye Bynoe. Finally, you on the Jayman Show. My guest today is meteorologist Betty Davis from the Weather Channel. Hi, Betty. Welcome to the show. It's so good to see you today.
Hi, it's great to see you as well. Thank you for inviting me to be a part of your show.
Absolutely. It's so good to see you. I guess my question is, what made you what got you interested in meteorology and weather?
I became interested in meteorology while I was doing an internship at a TV station in Macon, Georgia. I initially set out thinking I would become a TV reporter one day. So, my junior year of college, I landed an internship at a television station and thinking I'll learn exactly what news reporters do because I had no idea. So during this internship, one day I was hanging out in the weather department and I saw what the weather person was doing, the meteorologist, and I was like, I want to try that. So I jumped in front of the green screen and started pointing and I could do it. And then I started thinking, I wonder if I could learn what he is doing here because he seems to know something that no one else in the newsroom knows anything about, and people leave him alone. And I like that. I like the idea of that. And then once I started learning more about the weather, I was like, I'm going to figure out how I can integrate doing the weather into what I do as a news reporter. Like maybe it would even get me in the door somewhere. So, and here we are.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear. So my next question is, have you ever seen a tornado in person?
I have not seen a tornado in person, so to speak. Although I have been in a tornado. Um, when I lived in Atlanta and was working for the Weather Channel, there was a tornado outbreak one day, and a tornado moved through a part of Atlanta, and it came basically to my backyard. But by the time it got to my backyard, it was weakening.
Hmm.
But that was really scary. My son was little at the time. I remember telling my husband like, "Get to the basement." He wanted to like look out the window. I'm like, "What are you doing?" So and it damaged the trees in our backyard. We had to have those some trees removed actually after that.
Wow, I'm so glad you're safe. Did it sound like a freight train? Like people say. Was it?
Um, I didn't hear a freight train like I said. When it was coming toward us,
Mhm.
thankfully it had weakened, so it wasn't as it had lost its vigor, if you want to put it that way.
Okay. Okay, that's good to know. I'm glad you're safe. So so what does it take to be a meteorologist? Is it a lot of hard work involved in detail?
Well, it does take a lot of hard work. There are different ways that people become a meteorologist, or should I say, different educational pathways. For me, I started out as an English major, so I did not start out with a pure meteorology major in college. I graduated with a degree in English.
Mhm.
And by my junior year, I was trying to figure out how I could learn about weather, and Mississippi State University had a distance learning broadcast meteorology program at the time. So as soon as I finished Spelman, I enrolled in that. I figured that was going to be the most affordable route for me. So I was able to take all my classes through Mississippi State University and earn another bachelor's degree in geosciences with an emphasis in broadcast meteorology. Some people go to college and they get pure meteorology degrees, or they get an atmospheric science degree, or they get a geography degree, or they get a climatology degree. But the key is you have to take some meteorology courses. You need to learn about meteorology. You have to learn the science of weather.
Yeah, that sounds interesting, and that's good information to know. I agree. So what advice can you give future weather meteorologists that want to be a meteorologist? What advice can you give them?
I would advise them to work hard,
Mhm.
learn as much as you can from the textbooks. And I would also advise them to think long and hard before they go into television. Television It's not for everybody. It is a tough business. I was gonna say it can be a tough business. It's a tough business. You got to have a thick skin. You got to be used to people saying no, and you have to be willing, maybe to not take no as an answer, to find a different pathway to get to where you want to be. And you don't have to be on TV to be a meteorologist. If the science of weather is your passion, there are other avenues you can follow to pursue that career. But if you want to be on TV, just make sure that you want to be on TV and that you're okay with maybe having to move 50 times, or maybe hearing critical things about, the way you look, what you say, and all of those things. You have to have a thick skin.
Okay, I guess that's good information. So what inspires you to do what you do? What gives you inspiration?
What gives me inspiration? I would say my parents give me inspiration because they poured so much into me, to get me to where I am today. And I'm inspired by, my children, just wanting them to see me be successful and wanting to create a great life for them. In terms of individuals who inspire me, I'm inspired by other women I see on television doing meteorology. When I first got out of the gate, trying to like land that first job, but still learning the science, I would watch people on TV like Orlin Sidney at CNN, Karen McGinnis, Jackie Jarris. There were a lot of female meteorologists that I would watch. And I remember one day I was watching CNN and I heard Orlin Sidney. She was doing her weathercast and she was talking about an upper level low. And I was like, she is so confident and she is explaining that so well. I want to do that. I want to be able to do it like that one day. So I get my inspiration from a lot of different areas.
Hmm. Okay, that's good. That's good. Good to hear. Because I should definitely inspire me. Just by watching you on TV. And just watching how you interact. So that's why I wanted to meet you because I just love how you love people and how you have that passion for your job. And that inspires me. So yeah.
Oh, well, thank you.
Mhm.
I'm happy to be an inspiration for you.
Okay. So my next question is, how did the pandemic affect you? Did it affect you? I mean, in a big way, everything being shut down and the weather. Did that affect you?
Oh, the pandemic has affected me in a huge way. I mean, it's still affecting me. I just trying to stay safe. Unfortunately, I did contract COVID and I developed severe COVID and had to be hospitalized. So it has impacted me in a huge way. And this struggle every day of, you have to go into work, but you are worried about your safety. So just trying to balance that, it's tough, but I'm pushing through and just thankful and feeling blessed that I'm still here and still able to do my job. And hopefully soon we will be beyond this pandemic.
Yes, I totally agree. And I'm so glad you're safe, and that you're healthy and that everything went well for you. Because I know, because I got tested myself, and so I tested negative. So that I'm blessed that that I don't have the virus too. And so it's good to make sure you get tested, make sure you're safe. I agree. So how do you deal with criticism? How do you deal with criticism? I mean, does that sort of hurt you?
Um, I believe I've been in the business for more than 20 years now, and I'm just at a particular age where a lot of things just don't bother me. So I deal with criticism pretty well. I try not to internalize it. There are some days at work where I may not be in the best space or best frame of mind, and I might get a critical email from somebody about what I'm wearing or why is your hair like that? And I'll get like upset in the moment. But what I usually do is try to think of a nice, clever way to respond to the critical emails. And sometimes I take a really good look at the emails and what the person is saying to me to determine, is there something I can take away from this that might help me? Or maybe there's something, even though from the first glance, you know, maybe I don't like what the email says, but then I'll say, maybe there's something in here that I need to pay attention to. So that's how I try to look at it. So
Okay, that's good to hear. So what do you like to do in the spare time when you're not working? What do you like to do for fun travel?
well, we're in a pandemic, so
Mhm.
there's not a lot you can do outside of your home
Yeah.
in your spare time. So, not that I like to do it, but in my spare time, I'm usually cleaning my house or reading, although I need to put in a little more reading. I actually work a lot. So, um, when in my spare time, I'm usually trying to catch up on rest or exercising or in the kitchen cooking. Those are things I like to do, baking.
Okay. That's wonderful to hear. Yeah. So what do they begin to do to make the world better in your opinion? To change the world.
What can I do?
What can we do? As people, maybe you and I. What can we do to make the
Oh,
world
what can people do?
better?
I think we can be kinder to one another, um, to make the world better. I think we can stop being so selfish to
Mhm.
make the world better and think about others. I mean, we do have to think about ourselves and make sure we take care of ourselves. So maybe ultimately, if we take care of ourselves better, we can take one care of one another better. For example, we're in a pandemic,
Yeah.
and some people don't want to wear a mask. Well, if you wear a mask, that's going to help protect you. So you're taking care of yourself better, and it's going to protect the other person. So maybe if we just take care of ourselves better, in turn, we wind up taking care of others better.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that's true. Yeah. She better, better. Yeah. So my next question is you don't have to answer. You don't have to, but I was asking. I was kind of wondering. Uh, what made you to do the Weather Channel? Because I used to watch on it. Then you want to did something happen to make you like did you get a better job? Because you
Oh, I left the Weather Channel. I loved working at the Weather Channel. I loved the people there. But it's the nature of TV. A new owner comes in and they tell you you have to go and you go. So that's basically what happened. So I did not get a new contract. I knew I wasn't getting a new contract. So I moved on. And thankfully, I did finally find some another place to work. So that's the nature of the TV business. So the people who own it can do whatever they want to do. So that meant it was time for me to go. And so I left.
okay, I see. Okay, so
Mhm.
how can we support you on social? So how can we support you?
You can support me by, if you can watch me, that's awesome. You
Mhm.
can support me by following me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, the social media platforms. My work is at Betty Davis WPLG, and my social personal platform at the Betty Davis. That's my handle. So at the Betty Davis and at Betty Davis WPLG, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Okay, that's good to hear. So what's next for you? What projects are you working on next?
Well, I've been thinking, other than engagements like you and I are doing now, right now I'm getting ready for hurricane season at work, so that's pretty busy. We have a hurricane special coming up. We didn't do one last year because of the pandemic, but we are doing one this year, so I'll be taping that. And I'm considering writing a book actually. So I'm thinking about how I might want to find the time to start that process.
Okay. What will your book be about?
Well, one book would be pretty personal, just
Okay.
about my life and my journey in the TV business. But I'm also considering writing a children's book. It will be a weather book for children.
That's wonderful, because children, that's something children should see, but I definitely agree. I support you. So when that comes out, do you think you might go on, you might go on a book tour so we can meet you, so we can maybe meet you?
I guess I should, huh?
Yeah, yeah, I'd love to meet you. Yeah, if you come to Boston. So I'd love
Okay,
to.
okay. As long as it's not too cold in Boston.
Oh yeah, I hear what you mean because I don't like, because I'm actually trying to move to Florida. It's kind of funny, that's all. I don't like the
Oh,
cold.
are you?
Yeah, I don't like the snow or the cold, so I'd rather be able to warm, so.
Are you a Boston native?
Yeah, I was born in Boston, and I used to live in Florida, but then my mom passed, so I kept
Oh,
so I came out to Boston because I heading on down to Florida. So I'm trying to get back down there, especially on the winter because I can't
Oh,
order the snow. So or maybe Hawaii, California. Any events around during winter time, because I
oh,
just
Hawaii would be great for you.
yeah, definitely thinking about doing that. So yeah,
Mhm.
I'm trying, do that's like I'm trying to get my podcast going, get it sync so I can try and maybe hopefully get a break, on see what happens, because
Awesome, awesome.
so that's why I'm so glad you came on my show because it was just an honor to talk to you and get to know a little more about you, what you've been through. Okay, so I guess my last question is if you want what a meteorologist, what would you probably be if you want a meteorologist?
If I were not a meteorologist,
Mhm.
I would probably still be doing something on TV.
Okay.
This runs through my mind often. I'm not sure what that something would be, but it would probably still be something on TV.
Mhm.
But on the flip side of that, I also know that I have the aptitude to do things in the STEM field, and I can bring the creativity to STEM. So, I mean, I might would have maybe taken a route that I saw my sisters take and pursue some sort of engineering career.
Oh, that's wonderful. I definitely hear that. I support you. Okay, so are there any questions you want to ask me? You can ask me, and you want to know about me, you can ask me, and anything like
I'd like to know more about what you do and the the network that you're working for, the
Okay,
community broadcast.
okay. Well, right now I'm just well, right now I'm in school right now. I'm also at community college. I graduate in May with an associate degree in liberal arts, music, and media. And basically, right now, my podcast is called the Jayman Show. And I've interviewed some stuff like Maya, Ashanti, um, and a couple of other celebrities. And my podcast can be seen at B&M, which is Boston a neighborhood network.
Mhm.
It's a community access public station for people that can make their own show, but it can be a radio show, a podcast, a television show, talk show. Yeah, and we've had some. We've had the mayor there, the governor came by. Yeah, so it's called Being in Boston Neighborhood Network. It's in Boston, Massachusetts. And the name of the station is called WBCA 102.9 FM, Boston's local community radio station, and you can see my show on there. Plus all our shows there. They'll do like dance shows, talent shows, variety shows, music shows. Yeah, so and there's also acting shows, and it's just a great place to be and work and develop your own craft and try and put it. Yeah, and we also air our shows too. So I'm gonna send this and I'll let you know when the air show so you can see it in Boston and throughout the whole world because we're syndicated everywhere. So and yeah, I've been almost 2 years now, and it's just great. People there are so nice, it's just a great place to be. So if you can Boston, I'd love to bring you down and have you meet do an interview there, meet the people there because I know they'll love you because, and so it would be an honor just to have you down at a station and hopefully you can tell your friends about us, because we're looking for people in publicity. So yeah, so I hope you'll definitely come to Boston, definitely come by and meet us, and we'd love to meet you.
Awesome, awesome. You're doing great things there. That is wonderful. Thank you for that.
No problem. And thank you for coming on my show. I will edit the interview and send it to you. And yeah, and I will send the BNN, and let you know when it goes to air, and I'll try and put on YouTube when I get a chance, But yeah, but it was just an honor to talk to you and learn more about you because like I said, I've watched for almost a long time, so just have you on my show is a blessing, So and I thank you for your time, and we'll definitely talk soon, we stay in touch, And if you're in Boston, please let me know. You got my number. Yeah, we can stay in touch.
I will do that. You have a fabulous night and take good care of yourself.
Okay, God bless you. Thank you too, and stay safe. Okay. Hope
Okay, thanks. Bye.
to take care.